Okay, let's go ahead and get down our heading, our name, number, date. First and last in cursive. Remember to write the date you are completing these notes, not necessarily the date I am writing. Our subject is math. Okay, so here, instead of drawing it, we're just going to be naming these angles. So it says name the separate angles which compose the angle and write the decomposed angle as an equation with the sum of angles. So it's a lot of things to say. We're going to name the angles and then show it as a number sentence, basically. So let's see. First, I see this angle here. So remember, there's two ways I could name it. I just have to make sure that this vertex is in the middle. So I could call it PQR or RQP, either way. But I need that angle in front because that's part of the name. Angle PQR. That's that large angle. Next, I'm going to name this smaller angle right here PQS. Angle PQS. And then our last one here, this little angle here, SQR. I could also call it RQS. But as I follow those letters, it tells me which angle I'm looking at. So SQR, PQS, PQR. Those letters help tell me which angle we have. So here, this larger angle, we start with M. That means the measure of angle PQR is equal to, so it's equal to these two little ones added together. Now I don't have a lot of room here, so I'm just going to go down, but it continues with that equal sign. The measure of angle PQS plus the measure of angle SQR. So this equation or number sentence is telling me that this little angle plus this little angle equals this big angle. Or this large angle is equal to these two measures added together. Okay, in geometry, it's called the angle sum postulate. Something we just know is true. Okay, now we're going to do this one right here. Our largest angle, VWX or XWV. So angle VWX, sorry, angle addition postulate. I think I said it wrong. Then we have angle VWY. And angle, or YWV, either way. Then angle YWX or XWY. And these are always capital letters when we're talking about points in geometry. So now to write it as an equation, the measure of, well, what's the largest angle? Angle VWX. This large angle is composed of these two smaller ones. So I need to add the two smaller ones together. So it equals the measure of angle VWY plus the measure of angle YWX. When we add these two smaller angles together, we get the larger one. So the larger one is equal to the sum of the two smaller angles. is all this equation is telling us, or that number sentence. Okay, now our largest angle, angle RST, or you could write it as TSR as long as that vertex is in the middle. Okay, then we have angle RSU. And we have angle UST. This could also be TSU, and this one could have been USR. Okay, now as our equation, well, the largest angle is equal to these two added together, the sum of these two. They're being composed together. So the measure of angle RSU plus the measure of angle UST. Now this one has a lot more, and I could actually name more angles than I need to, but what I'm going to look at is instead of having two angles composed together to make the larger one, we actually have 1, 2, 3. And there's actually angles composed within there, but we'll just look at the 3 that are composed to make this larger one. So we're going to take those apart. We're going to decompose it. So first, our largest angle is ABC, or CBA. And then I'm going to look at each of these smaller ones separately. So ABD, or I'm sorry, not D, E. I just did what I said I wasn't going to do. Angle ABE. This is why you use pencil. I wish I could use pencil, but it doesn't show up as well on the camera. Angle ABE, angle EBD or DBE, and then last, angle DBC or CBD. You have to see these separate angles for what we need for our next lesson. So we've got to be able to see the parts to bring them together. So this large angle right here, angle ABC, is composed of these 3 smaller ones. I forgot the M for measure. Measure of angle ABE plus the measure of angle EBD plus the measure of angle DBC. This angle plus this angle plus this angle equals this larger one. These 3 are composed together to make this larger angle. Okay, so let's do some more practice with identifying the parts of a composite angle. Thank you for joining me.